Hello, this will be an interesting experiment. Um, I made a 27-minute video, and then when uploading it to YouTube, you get the option to turn or make a short out of it, and there was absolutely no volume. So I tried re-uploading a previous video that's already on YouTube, and the same problem. I've done nothing to the settings, but as you go further into it, I've found that the volume is there, so I'm guessing it's something with one of these updates we get periodically, so it'd be interesting to see if this does come out with sound. So the 27-minute video I deleted, and I wasn't exactly happy with it anyway. So it's whether you look at these things with a negative perspective or a positive perspective. And as a testimony here, about 3 weeks ago, I discovered I had a hernia. Well, that has, to all intents and purposes, has absolutely disappeared. And it again comes down to whether you go for that negative default setting of, oh, pity me, what am I going to do? I'm going to need an operation. Or whether you look at it in the same way as if you get a cut, where you don't have to consciously consider repairing the physical body. It just does its own thing. In the same way when you go to sleep, and even during the day, you don't have to consciously tell the organs inside these physical bodies what to do. They just get on and do what they're programmed to do. But the mind can sometimes interfere, and obviously if we're putting negative thoughts into the body, that sort of accentuates the problems, and you're reinforcing the perceived problem, which is actually a challenge. So when I had this hernia, I thought, this is the universe just giving me a new test. Further to this, when I was in Montjuic, I met a man, a German man, who had overcome Parkinson's disease. He recommends the Gerson diet. Now, there's a pattern to all of this, same as with the weather. I can check the weather forecast and it will tell me it is a certain temperature. The other day it was 26 degrees, but what was reading in the kitchen, which was still slightly cooler than when you step out of the kitchen, was reading 40 degrees. Same with the astrology. Do you go with the 12 zodiac sign, the Western tropical, or do you go with the actual, the sidereal astrology? Shout out to Dr. Danny, Astrologer Physician channel. And you'll find this, what we're told and what actually is, can be very, very different. So I'm offering this as yet another testimony that we can overwrite the perceived problems by adopting a very different attitude. So that's my testimony. We're now coming up to, what's that? Oh no, it's far less than I thought. So I shall carry on. What also has happened lately, I have been privileged and honoured to be requested to do tarot card readings, which follows that same pattern. It's really learning that internal dialogue. That is the real language to learn. And what I would recommend is listening to some of the many Rudolf Steiner lectures that talk about the physical body and our relationship with the physical body, because you are not the physical body, you are actually in the physical body to have this physical experience in this material reality. But we can always get these blockages. Some are sort of mental, some are emotional, some would seem to be physical, but it's the physical body telling on the mind. But It's it's our angle of approach on these things that makes the difference. So, to sort of re-quote myself from a previous video, why worry about tomorrow when you can tarot today? Because I have had some beautiful readings in the most recent one, as I was doing what I call the pre-shuffle. The word home came through very strongly, and that was confirmed in the feedback I got, that the reading was very much to do with the home. It helps if I know absolutely nothing about anybody who does request a tarot card reading, because that way it doesn't influence the way I'm giving the interpretation of what comes through in the cards. It could be a real game changer for you, because effectively it is your higher self, your intuition, saying, have a tarot card reading, because it will give you an external reminder of what your intuition is trying to communicate with you. This is the language to learn. The internal dialogue with your physical body, with the gut feeling, rather than the conscious mind trying to solve and perceive things as problems when they are just challenges. It's effectively the universe saying, right, you've passed all the tests on your spiritual path, so let's see how you get on with this new one. So from previous experiences of things, I did exactly that with when I discovered I'd got these protruding lumps, which have all but gone, and just adjusting the way I do things, taking it easy. These physical bodies are wonderful things, because you will get pain sensations. That's like a fire alarm going off. That's something to listen to. Don't suppress the pain. Allow it. Sit with the discomfort. It's very much a theme of anything to do with the spiritual path. Sit with the discomfort, because if you suppress the pain, how are you going to know when the pain has passed? You're interfering with the natural communication that is going on between your internal being and your physical shell. You'll see this reflected in the external world. If we think of the physical body as being like a car that transports the spirit around in this physical reality, you'll notice on most modern cars they are fitted with all kinds of sensors, parking sensors, reversing sensors. They've become hypersensitive, and you've only got to look at the external world in the way humanity has become so hypersensitive. So you'll see little videos of people jumping up and down on flags, as an example, or having a meltdown because this or that person is now president of whichever country and they don't agree with it. That's the wrong kind of hypersensitivity. So we're nearly up to 10 minutes. I'm going to stop here, but I'm going to carry on this theme in the next video, this comparison with what the external shows, which is actually a reflection to internalize. It is all an internal job. That again is reflected in the perception of the corruption with various governments and things. But there is a beautiful message in all of this, if you can see what is really being shown to you and seeing it in a very different way. And that is where the tarot cards can really help you. So I invite you to take up the offer of the tarot card readings. Links are in the description, how to get in contact with me. You can refer back to the previous videos where I explain what you'll get and such like. But I guarantee it's a consistent message from the feedback that it does make a huge difference. It puts things into context for you. So the offer is there. And so until the next video, I'm going to say unconditional love to you all.